First you draw a circle, and and presto.
It's Kirby. Now this is where things really get started.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that copyright date, 1993. This is after the SNES is released. It is a very late era NES game, and it shows. This thing pushes the NES to its absolute limit.
Huh.
It is incredibly technically impressive.
It's quite a long game for...
Oh, absolutely. There were some complaints that Dreamland was a little too short. They kind of decided to take those to heart.
Jeez. And there's where the big gimmick starts.
Yep.
It's sort of weird, like, that's basically his defining trait, but it was not in his origin.
Yeah.
It's gonna show all of them?
Not all of them, but, like...
Huh.
It shows, like, some of the basic ones you start out with. Kirby is brave when he has a sword.
Otherwise he's a damn coward.
Yeah, he doesn't really have hats in this one yet, but...
Oh, yeah. Gets a palette. Oh, wait, no, he just has... I think they're all the same palette, but...
I think there are some that have a different palette, like, I think the ice.
Oh, yeah. Backdrop.
You can use 6 tricks to win.
Grapplers hate him. See you in the
game world. Oh no! What happened to our dreams?
Oh, that DDD. Why did he do that?
Why did he do that? She's got a little bin.
I like how this revolves around, you know, the dream... Basically around dreams, but it's not doesn't have dream in the title.
Oh yeah, this one doesn't. Yeah. Yeah. It is always been called Dreamland, but the Dreamland is part of the American title. The title of the series is Hoshi no Kirby, Kirby of the Stars. And so everything that's called Dreamland here is just Hoshi no Kirby, while the others are like Hoshi no Kirby Adventure, or I think this one is like Legend of the Star Rod or something, but most of the later ones, like, you know, Superstar or something, are like just, you know, Hoshi no Kirby Superstar, or, you know.
Well, this is a great defense.
Yeah.
It's killing me I can't remember the name of the sword enemy.
Yeah, he's kind of...
I think it's just Blade Knight?
Yeah, that's right. Blade Knight.
Yeah. Oh, the Spark one's, well, that's Bronzo Bird down there.
Yeah. Just evolve into to rattling off our Wikipedia entries.
I'm gonna see what I can remember, damn it. It's, Poppy Brothers Jr.? Good old Maximum Tomato, that'll heal him for 50%.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they weren't in the first one. And of course we have this bonus game. Yeah, as you can see, you do get like a slight tint with certain powers like fire. This overworld has like a bunch of stuff like here's the mini games, which they really liked sub games.
Yeah, they did. I want a fat Kirby. Jeez. I want to say that I've played this one at least briefly, but...
Oof.
Oh. I definitely played, the Game Boy Advance remake of this.
Ah, yeah.
Which, I don't think we really need to do both, but...
Yeah.
So we could just talk about it here. Like, that was really cool, but it's great, like, it's just this game as far as I'm aware. Like,
yeah, it's pretty much just a graphical update of this game.
So this game is actually, like, robust enough to be, like, its own Game Boy Advance game, which...
Yeah.
Is kind of radical.
I think the big thing they did is they made the boss sprites bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a little weird sometimes. But...
And
then, of course, for some reason, they replaced King DDD's boss theme with the Melee Dreamland, like the Fountain of Dreams music, the symphonic one.
Oh. So we just ate Sir Kibbles, which is like my favorite name.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise it's basically the same game.
And there's the non-junior Poppy Bro.
Yeah.
It sounds like it really hurts.
Yeah, there's no bomb ability yet, so Poppy Brother Senior gives you Crash instead.
Crash is an interesting one. Oh,
Which
God.
Is your, oh god, yeah. Which is just a screen nuke.
I don't... yeah. Don't know them names.
Yeah.
I know the fish enemy is in, like, almost every game.
Yeah.
That's probably just called Sparky, now that I think about it.
I think so, yeah, that one, yeah. And, yeah, this game can get pretty laggy at times, which is...
Yeah...
When they're pushing the game this hard, that's one of the things that it does. Spark is just a oh my god, I didn't even know that secret existed. Yeah, most of the, like, the secrets that actually count for percent and, like, open up new areas are pretty easily telegraphed, but, like, there's also some, like, just, like, invisible question marks with one-up type secrets.
So okay, there's a few different moves that you can do with your... Some of the abilities have, like, different uses, like if you use the sword in the air, it does the spin slash.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Like, this is still very much, almost everything does one thing, but some of them are slightly different in the air. If it, like, you know, like with the weapon, it kind of, you can't really do a sword slice in the air.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe you can. I don't know. We'll see, but I think it does do the, like, the spinning attack here. Yeah, this Lug player is, very into just randomly changing powers at pretty much every opportunity. I mean, here, when you see something like this, that's usually a sign that they want you to get this power.
Yeah.
It's useful in the next area.
Yeah,
go ahead.
They're weird that there's, like, a fire breath and then a fireball ability.
Yeah!
It's a little odd.
Because everything does one thing.
Yeah. I was waiting for that guy to blow up because I remember enemies like to explode when they go in the water, but I was like, oh, yeah, it's an enemy that survives in water. Jeez.
Yeah, this game's pretty slow down heavy. Is he not dashing a lot?
Yeah, it was kind of
weird. And yeah, the timing for this bonus game is kind of hard sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, do you get anything besides points? Like maybe one-ups?
You get a one-up if you hit the top, but otherwise it's just points, yeah. Then the museums, which are just, here's some powers to inhale.
Yeah.
Scattered throughout the world.
Hey, it's Mr. Frosty.
Yep. Oof.
I made him in Fire Pro. Are there 2 ice ones as well, or?
Yep, there's freeze and ice breath.
Jeez. That's Cappy. Goodbye, Cappy.
Sayonara.
Eventually I'm gonna run out of enemies to name, alright?
I like this little icon where he's, like, next to the penguin for freeze.
They're chilling out.
Now he just needs the Netflix power.
Oh no. Oh, the spike guy. Or needle, rather.
Yep.
It's very important to get that right. Just like a porcupine's is.
Yeah, the game encourages you to, like... It's very good about encouraging you to try out different powers all the time. Which is... The game's greatest strength is its powers, so...
Thanks, Thanks, Meta Knight.
Yeah, Meta Knight throws those. It's not as clear in the remake, but yeah.
Oh.
you a bunch of hit sparks when you invincibility through shot zones. I forgot about that.
I like the icon for Needle. Of course, it just went away, but...
Yeah.
He's just... being attacked?
But yeah, the game is really good about... You can keep your power if you want to, but also encouraging you to try out new powers. So you have more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just sort of like, ah, needles. Hey. Huh. This guy's the first boss again. I wonder if that's ever going to happen again. Now we can just kind of murder him, though.
Oh yeah, we're gonna glue the Star Rod back together.
Oh yeah.
They do a lot with a little icon down there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Jesus Christ. I don't remember that being in the remake.
Yeah. What was the first one? This is Ice Cream Island, the world name, and the first one is like...
Grape Gardens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the gimmick is that the levels are Roy G. Biv backwards. They start with the letters Roy, red, blue, you know, that the acronym for the rainbow.
Ah.
Like the first color in a rainbow is red, so it's R for Roy, and O is orange, and Y is yellow. And like you put them all together, it's Roy G. Biv. But like they have a gimmick where each level starts with an alliterative name, and if you they are backwards, you know, Roy G. Biv, which is, you know, violet, indigo, green.
Oh no, it's Vine Valley.
Yeah, Vine Valley. That's
it. Yeah.
And Parasol, which like. I like how Parasol sounds like one of those abilities that would really suck, but it's really good.
Yeah. I do like how it gives him a different type of mobility, even though he can fly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and there's that weird thing where, like, if you fall far enough, you can actually headbutt people on the way down.
Oh yeah.
Like, with a stomp.
And Kirby's just, like, making graffiti.
And Tornado, aka the gotta go fast button.
Tornado's ability, it's like really fun, but also really perilous if you don't use it right.
Unwieldy.
Yeah.
Don't eat bombs. Life lesson. Yeah, if you do a single bomb, it like ends the run instantly. So.
Jeez.
Let's not go through the implications of that at all.
Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, that didn't make it into the remake. I forget what all the bonuses.
I believe they
were.
changed all the bonus games, yeah. In the remake for some reason.
Yeah, then the claw machine were definitely not in it.
Although they were also all like 4-player? Or were those the separate ones that were on the title screen in that one? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'd be separate.
Of course, this familiar setup, which is pretty much...
Alright.
Hold on.
Oh! The boss in this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's a wheelie.
Yeah. Here's Wheel.
This is the gotta go fast. Watch out for excess speed.
I mean, you don't want any of that.
Ugh.
Mini-bosses also are often, when you pick them up, it's usually a good idea to grab them.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm kind of curious when we're going to see the backdrop again, because I'm kind of amazed that was, you know, like, from the beginning.
Try to get a Kirby. Can you get a Kirby?
Hey, we have a fat Kirby. I'm gonna go for the other one. Oh, wow. They do not look happy.
And of course, there is a save function, so but like all save functions, it doesn't save the amount of lives you have.
Oh, yeah. Looks like it has some impact in it.
Yeah, the double tap to dash, which is in the first game as well, is kind of rare. But, like, in the first game, they had a jump button and an attack button, and they, you know, that's all the 2 buttons you have on an NES.
Oh,
So they
yeah.
were dashing the other way.
It's weird how, like, used to it I am because of, like,
Yeah.
playing a lot of these HAL games growing up, but I guess, yeah, that is kind of unusual. That in fighting games, but...
Yeah.
Makes me wonder where the, where dashes first came into fighting games, because it wasn't Street Fighter 2.
Oh, yeah. God, it could have been Mortal Kombat 3 for all I know.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, so we got...
Meta
Knights.
Knight lackeys,
Yeah.
as the Meta Knights. Which, I mean, he first appeared giving you an invincibility star, but now he's summoning these dudes to fight you.
Yeah, it'll...
He's intentionally a mysterious character.
Yeah.
at least in this first appearance. And these guys, you know, the big thing about them is they are really resistant to powers, but you can inhale them, so...
I always found that funny, too, is like you just instantly kill them that way.
Yeah, it kind of encourages you to be powerless as an attack form. I'm normal.
I love when you swallow an enemy that doesn't give you a power. It just shows an icon, just like, nope.
Nothing.
Ain't got shit, dummy. Laser, alright.
Yep.
Beep.
He just uses his hand for it.
Yeah. I do like how the enemy gets used later, but they just have the beam power up. Or, yeah, beam. Yeah, beam and laser are two different things.
Yeah. There's definitely a bunch of different, like, jiggling of some of the related powers throughout the series.
Fuck the laser, I guess. Also, those weird, like, guys that crawl on the walls and throw stars at you? I forget about them.
Hey, it's Rock.
Good old
Rocky.
Yeah.
Yo, Adrian! Okay, it's Stone this time, but yeah.
Stone!
Like, the power ability is just Kirby getting fucking owned.
Oh yeah, this mini-boss. It's Mr. Time. Cloxo. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, he doesn't become much of a recurring guy. I think, I'm not sure, but like the manual for the first game where the mic was like this one-use power-up, just like Kirby singing is really bad. And then here we see Laser's big gimmick.
Yay!
As it bounces off steep slopes at a 90-degree angle.
I was trying to decide how to judge whether or not an NES game looks nice. It's like, I mean, you could definitely make a bad-looking one, but like... I don't know, I mean, this one looks alright.
Yeah, there's a lot of extra detail that you wouldn't see normally in these kinds of games.
Yeah.
Backgrounds especially. Because this is the largest NES cart they ever made, at least officially.
Huh.
You know, besides homebrew and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was so late, and, you know, cartridge space is sort of somewhat independent of the actual, like, you know, system.
Yeah.
This game is fucking huge for an NES game. Only one leaves!
You can get a tomato.
Yep. We even have a crowd cheering.
They do.
But yeah, this is where you can get the boss power-ups and also a max tomato. Or you can decide not to and just leave him.
Alright, well. Just did it to show our prowess.
A lot of music tracks here that would be coming around all over the place.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think this music isn't quite as transcended as something like the Mega Man series or something, where it's like even good, even outside of the fact it's it being an NES. But like the music in this series would just get a lot better and better.
Yeah.
And I mean, this isn't bad music by any stretch, but it's not like
Yeah.
it's pretty great, but it doesn't like transcend.
Oh, Sleepy.
Oh yeah, sleep.
Sleepy boy.
The oops power up.
I mean, it's pretty easy to avoid getting it because, you know.
At least now, for now.
Oh, yeah. Does your health always flash like that?
Yep.
Huh. Just picked up on that. Yeah, this series is full of things where they have, like, different areas locked off by whether or not you have an ability or not.
Yeah.
So they can do a lot of creative stuff with it.
Now there was just one of the windows didn't have the bottom, so it's a door. Because it actually does look like a door if the bottom isn't there.
Yeah. Oh, this.
Yeah, the high jump power up.
You wouldn't think it'd be all that useful since you can, again, fly, but, he also becomes...
It is useful to just murder things.
Yeah, it just becomes a big hitbox.
Yeah. This is back in the days where every single time you got hit, you dropped your power.
Ugh. I want to say they changed that for the remake, even.
No, that I did remember that's one thing that stayed in the remake that was kind of stood out to me compared to the other Kirby games I played around that time is, yes, you lost your power every time you got hit.
Jeez. I don't know why I like the fact that you can enter a mid-air door in this game.
Kirby doesn't care.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Paint Skate Boy.
Yeah, Paint Roller.
Paint Roller, that's right.
He doesn't show up too much in the series, but painting does. Painting does too.
Painting enemies is actually a recurring trend.
Oh no, not the baseball!
This building is made of butter. And no, Kirby is dead.
And then now, he's dead. Sort of this grand entrance to the building, too. Like, we spend the whole time inside this building in different, like, layers of the building.
Oh, yeah. Goodbye, Mr. Time. When does Kirby get the time freeze ability? Just shouts the word out.
Steals it from, the one hitting nails, Simon. This is the first of our buttons.
Oh, yeah.
a lot of those extra areas that we've been seeing, don't just get them for beating the levels. You have to, like, find buttons, and that becomes much more common as we go on. And they count towards file percentage.
Ah.
I always think that the first attack does a lot of damage for some reason. I'm like, oh right, the enemies, the mini bosses only have half as the health bar.
Right, yeah. I was wondering what was going on there. Yeah, these guys. They appear in other games, it's just I don't...
They're kind of weird, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of forget about them. Oh, hey.
Yeah, here's where they just show off.
That was a cool looking effect, jeez.
Yeah. If I remember right, the one in the remake actually kind of doesn't even, like, it isn't even like this.
Yeah.
It's just kind of really dumb.
Yeah. I don't remember there being anything nearly that good looking.
Speaking of remix, they also did this, remade this as one of the few things on the 3DS as the 3D Classic series.
Huh.
Where a bunch of different, like, classic NES games, but they were 3D with the stereoscopic slider.
I missed out on that, apparently. I mean, I didn't have
Yeah,
3DS, but I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they did a few, and then they did it, and most of them were stuff like Xevious, or not like big adventure games and stuff.
Yeah.
They're also made by Eureka.
Oh, hey.
But yeah, it was mostly just this. Like, it actually had some cool effects. Like, I believe it also, like, it like had some shadows on any death pits to show that they're death pits.
Oh.
And it also was mostly the same game, but with no lag.
Oh, wow.
And ow!
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're pretty tough to get.
Wow. Hey, it's Bugsy.
Here we are.
Ah.
Boom.
I don't really know what you call that kind of wrestling move when you get grabbed by pincers.
We gotta get the bug wrestling league in here. Figure out. And yeah, here's backdrop. The powerful wrestling technique.
Get renamed to Suplex later because backdrop is a little weird. Oh yeah, just climbing straight up in this one for the map.
Yeah. Yeah, so backdrop works a little differently in that you don't do that, like, dashing grab. Instead, you just basically inhale them, and then they end up in your hands, and you do the backdrop. Definitely a situational power, but you can, like, murder other people with your backdrop and stuff.
Yeah, you have, like, invincibility during that, so... It's kind of like how it works in beat-em-ups. Which is just... It's relevant, because Streets of Rage 4 is a thing right now. So, can't wait to see him as the latest DLC. I just love how Kirby, of all people, has, like, a large selection of grapple moves that he knows.
Yeah, they went creative for some of these powers. So.
Yeah. High jump.
Hi.
Got like a burst of speed there. trees again. They don't do a whole lot to mix this up, do they?
It's mostly just different stage layouts, yeah. More aggressive spawns, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have the air spin in this one. The very few. Then again, the weapon power-ups are more like because the weapons power-ups are the only ones you can also use underwater as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Any of the ones that you carry around in your hands physically.
Or in like Superstar, the ones you can use in the water are a little more arbitrary, I think. Don't actually remember which they all were.
And here's the final of the 3 sub-games. Might be a little familiar.
Hey. Wow.
And then they have hats, and the hats become the icons for how many...
Holy shit. I love it.
That was a bazooka!
Oh. It's Bonker.
This gets really tough.
Oh, yeah. Imagine if it's anything like the other one. Jeez.
I don't think I've ever reacted to DDD.
Yeah.
You managed to take damage in a room with a super candy. Or hyper candy, I guess.
There's a lot of enemies in this that, like, I remember them appearing in Superstar and not many other games. Like the little birds in that last room.
Yeah, that's a thing we'll get into, but, we'll actually get into it right now. Like, after this game, they use they have a different lead developer for Kirby's Dream Land 2, 3, and 64. And, those games, like, but in the middle of all that is Superstar, which is led by Sakurai. So, those 3 games have a very different feel than the other games, and there's a lot of things that connected them that are really specific to that game. Those 3 games that aren't really any of the other games and such.
Yeah, okay.
You can definitely pick them out. And it would just feel like, you know, part of, like, the evolution of the series if it weren't for the fact that Superstar is in the middle of all that and, like, is a lot more like what you get with the other Kirby's games.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like a super huge thing, but, like, you definitely notice it. Like, there's the fact that Dark Matter is the boss of all 3 of those games.
Oh, right.
Like, get them called the Dark Matter trilogy sometimes.
Ha.
Because, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we added more snaz to our snaz.
Don't quite get how that works, but alright.
Yeah, you're supposed to be, like, going around the building.
But there's like a crease in the middle?
Yeah, that one I don't get, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's one thing, like, those bomb blocks, they don't appear in any of the Dark Matter games. Oh yeah! Here's an ability that never came back. except in the remake.
Right.
Light!
And now it's dead. We're not going to do that, apparently.
Guess not.
I want to hold on to Hammer a little bit, because I think you only get that from Sub-Boss.
Yeah.
It's like... I remember that being true of, I think that's true in Superstar?
Yeah.
Which is...
Because, like, in Superstar, the Helper is a sub-boss.
Yeah, right, yeah. It's kind of unusual for a power in this game, or this series, really, but Hammer is kind of... is that. I think there's a lighting effect for this, too, just why not?
Oops.
You killed all the little birdies. Good job. Hey, it's Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright.
God Hammer destroys them.
Yeah, wow.
These guys are really cool because they have these team attacks and stuff. But, like, Hammer just murdered them.
Yeah.
You didn't get to see a damn thing.
That's Grape Garden. See, Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright didn't appear in a lot of games, as far as I know.
Yeah, they do have some appearances, though.
Did you ever play Dreamland 2?
I didn't until very recently. I emulated it.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of, while I had this in my mind, it was like, that was the one Kirby game I've never played, so.
Same. I've never touched it, so kind of curious.
And hurrah, it's UFO.
UFO.
UFO is basically the superpower
Yeah.
because it disappears when you end the level.
Right, yeah.
And the enemies, like, do not respawn. The UFO enemies do not respawn. And, of course, you can fly completely freely at full speed.
That's the same icon from Dream Course, isn't it?
Probably, yeah. And you have a chargeable laser.
I don't know how thorough we're going to be with this series, because there's a lot of fucking games. Like,
I think we're just going to go through the main platformers, and then afterwards we'll pick up some, like, side games if we want to do it.
yeah.
Like, because if we were doing all the games, we'd already be missing Pinball Land, which I think is before Adventure.
Oh, wow.
Because that doesn't have any powers in it. Wait, it also has... No, but that has Shine and Bright in it, and Meta Knight, so no, that's definitely after this one.
Oh, yeah,
My mistake. Yeah, of course, if you're a speedrunner, there's like a glitch you can do to keep UFO even after you beat the level, and then you just trivialize the entire game by being UFO during the entirety of it.
Oh, dear.
And you, like, get it from, like, a mix at the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, mix.
Yeah, if you inhale 2 or more abilities at once, you get a roulette. And it is timeable, but it is very hard to time. Like, normal people definitely don't time the mix.
Yeah.
That doesn't look too good.
Oh. Nope. Argue we don't really need to do this multiple times, but hey. It's not that long.
Yeah. But we need all those lives.
I like how it's entirely optional and just for lives, but I still prefer watching that to Sonic Special Stages.
Because they don't suck.
Nothing. climbing animation?
Oh, I think so, maybe. We might want to see. We might see it again. I'm not sure though.
I just realized those guys all make noise.
Yeah. What?
There's this secret up here, apparently. No, there's not.
It's like, oops, I dropped my controller. Oh God, Spark just like makes the game cry every time you use it. Oh yeah, he does have that climbing animation. I saw it for just a little bit.
The climbing thing didn't come back.
Nah, it's kind of weird. Why do you have a weird animation going up slopes?
Well, just gonna jump through that, alright?
Oh, yeah, that's if you're, ballsy.
It's not like instant death or anything, but damn.
Oh, this is the, first game where you can dash. Just look it up.
Yeah.
You can't do it in Dreamland, and you can't do it in Dreamland 2, that's right.
Oh, jeez.
No. I think we just mixed. I don't know, though.
Let's say, that's...
And we got light from mix, which is like the biggest fuck you.
Jesus Christ.
Just an ability that's only useful in very specific spots. There you go.
See, like,
Yeah, I don't think in later games you can get mix from like two of the same enemy.
Yeah, yeah. This should be Kirby's hat whenever he inhales the duck hunt dog. The little, like, gun spin.
Yeah. Bazooka spin.
Ah, he's a captain. Oh. Jeez.
And then the airship level. It's pictured airship.
It doesn't sound like it's that impressive, but just like the theming on the map screen is really neat.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was here from the beginning. Well, second game, but still.
Yeah. For the first time, you could actually make fire.
Right.
Just fuck this area. Just fuck it.
Yeah. I feel like this is kind of the reason why Kirby has a flight limit in 64.
64 has a lot, yeah, more jumping, but like usually the levels aren't so designed quite so
Right.
easy to just do that. Usually you're better about that.
Usually. Granted, apparently it's not actually the eggs over there on the right, so...
Yeah. Also, this is wind does affect you.
Oh, yeah. I really would have assumed those things are hitting me. No. don't think those high jump enemies ever showed up much.
Not really, no, because high jump didn't show up much.
Yeah.
So.
Although it did make it into Dream Course, which makes sense.
Oh boy, sleep!
Oh boy! Also Ball, which we haven't seen yet.
Oh, ball.
I'm glad we showed this off like twice.
Did I sleep? I forgot.
Have a ball.
Ball is super awkward, but apparently actually pretty damn good if you can get it going.
Yeah. I remember working like this.
It's really weird to use. Like, you have to get momentum going, and it's...
Oh, jeez.
I do believe we'll see it later.
I love that there's an icon for taking damage. He becomes Ouch Kirby. Yeah, let's slow those things down.
One of those things where you inhale that guy and you always expect to get the power that you didn't get.
Yeah.
That's all what'll do.
Yeah.
Here it is, the Grape Garden.
Oh, yeah.
Like how that last level ends with you leaving the airship from the previous level.
Oh, yeah. Also, that little, like, shell enemy is... I don't remember seeing that ever. Isn't, like, outside this game.
Here's
Oh, yeah.
already their very familiar wheel puzzles.
Oof. Oh. That's a really cool background. What the hell?
This weird guy. He has throw.
Oh, that's also a separate ability. I forgot about this one.
Throw is weird because it's almost just having no ability.
Oh, yeah. I assume you can throw them in multiple directions?
I think you can throw them up or down. I'm not sure though. And I think they may do more damage. I don't know. It's a very weird ability.
There's a reason I don't remember that one. Thanks, buddy. Is that how fast we fly?
Yeah, flying is not terribly fast. It does encourage you to like actually be on the ground and dash around and jump rather than just fly over everything. Because
Yeah.
it's just faster.
The throw icon's a little weird. Like, I just picked up what it's supposed to look like, but...
Well, I mean, here's a good place for throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think your thrown projectiles are like double stars, in which they, in that case, which they go through shit.
Yeah.
Just this nice ass fountain background.
Yeah, yeah.
Tile set. Just put the backgrounds are incredible for an NES game.
Yeah. Yeah, the gourd is a little jerky in this game.
Yeah. There's...
I forgot how damn big this game is.
Yeah, it's huge. Don't explode in my face.
Oh, they blow up even if you hit them with ability?
I think so, yeah.
A lot scarier. They use this guy a lot.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't think he ever came back.
No.
So I think that all the light does is really, like, I think it reveals some, like, secret room.
Yeah, like the exit, you can see the exit, but like in addition to lighting up the room, like any like exits that were inside this room, you can actually see like that one right there.
Yeah. Great, the warp. Pretty sure that dude's sword is actually a separate sprite. If I understand how that works correctly.
Probably. I mean, most projectiles are, and it's sort of a projectile.
Yeah.
There's a fairly strict size limit on NES sprites.
And color limit. So these things can be hit by both hammer and rock?
Yes.
Stone.
This is kind of a weird puzzle where you fill in the block and it causes the power-up to bounce upwards. Just sort of making, like, it's sort of a very Mario Maker thing where the game has a quirk in physics and you exploit it in a puzzle.
That's what to say, Oops.
Whoops. 100 points. You tried.
I love he's just giving the peace symbol, like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, here's Krakow Jr., and in this game, he's all about the high jump.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he actually destroys the things underneath you. Normally, you don't have to hang around for him to do that. You can just grab one of these and you just spam high jump. They are very beating it into your head that you should use high jump for this fight, which is sort of awkward. Not like super awkward, but not like, you know, the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we get it.
You can just, like, speed past this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can just go up as much as you want. I have no idea what's going on here.
Giving Krakow a sporting chance.
Yeah, he's already left up there where the actual boss fight is. He's not going to do any more. He's done with this bullshit.
Oh, jeez.
Then this is where, well, I mean, some of his power patterns are from like the extra form. The boss fights were pretty reworked there, but he's basically as he is in Superstar, except he spits out high jump people this time.
Oh. The way he animates is pretty interesting too. Like, just, you don't usually see NES sprites that move that quickly.
Yeah. Kirby, you dingus.
That's Kirby. Right back at you.
Fuck it.
Speaking of Mario Maker, that was kind of like a Mario Maker airship. Ah, I want the root beer.
Oh yeah, it's officially called a pep drink.
Ah.
Which, I mean, this would be for energy drinks were a thing.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, these ice guys.
Just real basic. Yeah.
They basically just didn't appear again because they had other ice enemies to fill in.
Yeah. They didn't need, like, to have one separate ice enemy for freeze and one for ice breath.
Oh boy, but worth it. Oh no. Oh wow, okay. I have a whole collection of fat Kirby plushies.
I'm fat. Oops.
Oh yeah. The ability stars will just break as soon as they hit the water. Weird, like, NES effect where the tiles, like, appear on the side.
Yeah. It's basically because there's not enough memory VRAM buffer for both horizontal and vertical scrolling at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to adjust the tiles as they're coming up when you scroll left. even though they haven't finished scrolling off the right side of the screen. That's why you see this in Super Mario 3 and in Kirby here, but you don't see it in like Super Mario 1 or in Mega Man games. The way the buffer works, it would work if you're scrolling one direction exclusively.
I love that they just kind of lived with that downside, just like having the weird glitchy tiles on this side. There's like, well, you know, a sacrifice worth making.
I mean, part of it is like TVs and that thing had like overscan, which meant like the sides wouldn't actually show up. Like, so to some degree, like some of the borders were cut off.
The crawling animation. He's got the slide in this game too, and I don't think we've used it.
Yeah. No, we used it a few times.
Okay.
Mostly just for getting a barrel out, like a block out of the way, because it doesn't really do much damage at all, if any.
Some of these tracks I mostly recognize as being in Dream Course.
I mean, nearly every track in this game has been remixed in a lot of later games.
Yeah.
This is where the sound library is built up, basically. Sometimes in a straighter manner, sometimes in a more creative manner.
Oh, okay. That looks like that now.
Yeah, it's sliding on tiles. And I guess you can slide with the hammer and, like, hit people with the hammer. I never knew that. Which is neat.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, you can run across one-tile blocks, but apparently it's kind of glitchy, and sometimes you do fall through.
I was gonna say I wouldn't trust it, then I'm like, oh yeah, you can fly though, so... It's kind of a unique, sort of trait of Kirby's flying, is that, like, he exhales, it's a projectile that he has.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much in every game, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. Just provides you with some defense while you're up, high up. I believe Sakurai once mentioned that the way using Kirby can fly, not just because it's like a... Oh, you're especially to have had the parasol here.
Oh.
To make this easier, but like... He didn't like how characters in, like, video games would take multiple hits, but then just fucking die to a pit instantly.
Oh.
Which still happens, but not in, you know, you can save yourself, like, nearly any time.
Yeah, Kirby just fly right out of that, so... This is a creative minigame.
Yeah. Pretty tough, too.
Jeez! Missed one, I guess. I didn't even see it, but...
Yep.
You missed one and you only get one life for it. I love the detail even in this game has it, where, when you get a new ability, it actually shows them use it real briefly.
Yeah!
And kind of stuff. Like, you don't have to do that kind of stuff, but, you know, it's nice that they
It's
did.
a very easy teaching moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this pattern.
I'm just gonna swipe my axe, and if you get hit, it's your own fault.
Yeah, and this game seemed to get a lot of, like, hit stun, for lack of a better word.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
can, like, run out invincibility frames with it, with the fireball there. Hit pause.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the second time we swallowed one of those things immediately after dropping an ability. It's like glunk or gunk or something.
God, I don't even know.
The, intentionally creating a bunch of lag.
Yeah.
They're just like, ah, Kirby, we're gonna get you yet.
We're gonna get those dastardly speedrunners.
Some of these enemy names are just like at the tip of my tongue, and I can't. It's like the fish guys. Like, I swear I know what they're called.
I love how he climbs up on it when you get.
Oh yeah.
Because we see this minigame a fucking lot.
Yeah, we do. We. Ow. Killer parasols.
Exploding! Yeah, trying to dive through the trees there.
Yeah.
Didn't quite work out, but... Well...
Oh, what?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Jackpot.
Oh, this thing. Bye.
Yeah, Fireball Lion. He does Fireball charge attacks.
Well, that level happened.
If I remember right, like, when you get mix, the first thing that shows up is, like, the mix icon before it starts thing, and it's, like, Kirby with a martini glass.
Oh, yeah. Add that to the list of Nintendo characters who drink alcohol.
That's my list on Wikipedia.
to fly over that one. Something about this
You
level...
really want that hammer, apparently.
Yeah. Some of this level layout just instantly seemed familiar to me. It's I guess it does stand out.
Setup. Gentle slope.
Ouch. Jeez.
Yeah, he really wants that hammer.
I don't know if we'll ever see it when we actually do Kirby Superstar, but remember there were like when you drop an ability, it's like you drop the hat. Unless it's one of the ones where it's like a weapon, which you just kind of just throw the weapon away.
Oh yeah, you do need the hammer for this part, or something. I think you can get the hammer elsewhere or something, but I think those are like tough blocks that you need specific things to get. Oh, rock also works, I think. Not sure though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's the wrong door. That's the silly door.
That's the, here's what you missed, dummy. Bro. The hell is that?
It's like a Sherlock hat.
Oh, it's the high jump guy. I didn't recognize him.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, is that a pigeon? Like, what is that? That's how many frames it took for you to hit it. "47 lives." Oh, this thing.
Heavy mole.
Yeah, that's right.
Most of them I remember from fucking at Kirby's Avalanche. So yeah, the thing about this fight is that like your hammer actually destroys those things if you have the hammer.
Oh.
The blocks the same way Heavy Mole does, as it scrolls up and down randomly. And I believe you do get hammer from like some of his projectiles if you inhale them.
Oh.
Also Shark!
Ah! Also, man, hammer really pays off because it seems to destroy people.
Yeah.
I think we're going to take our time with most of these things, but in terms of fighting bosses, we're going to just instantly destroy them with a hammer.
Oh, this is a terrible boss fight. Good thing you have the hammer because you're underwater.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember that one being in the remake.
It was, I'm pretty sure. I think they may have swapped out that guy for the elephant.
Oh, yeah! Well, the elephant's like the throw ability. Well,
Yeah, that guy's also the throw ability.
Oh, I thought he'd be rock.
No. No, I'm pretty sure he can just grab you and shock you. I'm not sure, though. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not sure.
Even those buttons come back in Superstar.
Yeah, those big stage buttons are pretty recurring as well. But again, not in the Dark Matter games.
Right.
Yeah, fish!
I don't know why I want to say the fish enemies are named bloopers. Which I know is a Mario enemy, but... sometimes these things happen. You only come up with so many cute names. Oh, the door's underwater.
Some very abstract color palettes all over the place, which is kind of what you did, but...
Yeah? That's a door up there?
I think so, yeah.
I like how we kind of gave up on changing abilities every 5 seconds, because, Hammer OP. Yeah, Kirby's Avalanche, that was a thing. Actually didn't play that one a lot, surprisingly. Which explains why I'm so bad at Puyo Puyo.
And here is the tornado area.
Oh, yeah. It's a pretty scary enemy when he gets going. Some Sonic plants in the background.
We just kind of destroyed a UFO there.
Oh.
But to be fair, it's really hard to react to that guy because you're not expecting him.
I like how the Sir Kibbles is, like, doing its attack that it normally does, but with these sprites, I wouldn't have been able to pick up on that. Like, I only know that because of the other games. So, is this the second to last world?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so R would be next, yeah.
This one is just Orange Ocean, so...
Yeah. Give me my hammer so I can beat Hammer Guy.
Yeah, it's another hammer block, I think, because it made that ting sound when you hit it with your air puff.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think that was made a little less abstract in the remake. That you can go in there.
Yeah, yeah. Really want that life.
Yeah, you see, the fire is a red herring because you can't use it underwater.
I was wondering what you're supposed to do.
Fuck him.
Ah, there's a triangle. Hey, we're back on a pirate ship.
Yeah, well, we flooded it so we could go inside.
It just seems to happen in these games we watch.
This one's just a ship. We're kind of assuming it's a pirate, but...
Oh man, that looks cool. Hey, these little coconut things that explode.
Oh, yeah.
In space.
Crane fever!
Great. Yep.
Drop another one in there.
I want a Sleepy Boy plushie. Crash land on an island.
Bye, ball. It had to go now. I remember this one being really tricky to figure out. Not entirely sure I ever did. I think it's just for that big stack of one-ups there.
Yeah. Beam? Don't know if it'll go on the ground in this one.
No, it wouldn't. Because, I mean, it bounces off of walls. That's its shtick, so...
Oh, it's laser.
Oh, right. Beam... Yeah, Beam would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Beam could reach. Maybe. Depends on how if you could get a good angle on it.
Yeah. I like how easy...
That one's kind of a dick move.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that... Oh, yeah. I get they're just bombs and their big threat is that they'll occasionally fall over
Yeah.
and just explode.
Here's a room for the umbrella.
Oh, yeah, yeah. 'Cause it protects you. Among other things.
Constant hitbox above you. There's the dash.
Yay!
Only takes the threat of falling coconuts.
I just keep remembering, like, for the longest time, if you ever wanted to use, like, Kirby sprites in RPG Maker, someone had set up something for that, but it was using these sprites for, like, left and right, and then, like, forward and back, they just made up something new. I think that's the sprite I had in, one of the POS games.
Are you sure they didn't edit it?
No, I'm sure I edited it. Oh, this music showed up early.
Yeah. It's a very sunset night theme.
It's actually my favorite track from the game here.
Yeah. Like, the whole, like, this part and then the whole last level is very at night. It sort of closes the journey, so to speak.
Yeah. Like the bomb guy just disappeared.
We scrolled him off screen. He no longer exists. Okay, that was weird.
We drowned them.
Yeah, you're kind of silly when you're underwater with something in your mouth. That Waddle Dee was just booking it.
Hi, Kirby, up here. He is fucking a man on a mission. I like how we gave up Beam to get Beam.
I think that was just... Yeah, that's kind of weird. I think he was going to give up his power because, you know, you need to get fire, but then, like, that guy jumped in, he's just like, ah, fuck. Gonna need some defense here.
Take our time with it, I guess.
Yeah, that definitely ran out. Oops. Yeah, I forgot to hit that too. There's a lot of enemies about to, like, nail you.
Jeez. Ow!
Now, like, we haven't seen any deaths, but you can actually die a lot in this game, because you don't get any refills, like, just for beating levels or shit.
Oh, yeah.
So your health carries over, like, all the time. Oh yeah, it has the little star icons, because they get harder as they go along.
Oh. It's pretty slow. I love it just counts the actual frames. It's like, sure.
It's like, well, that's a timer. Yeah.
Jesus.
Just straight up have an aurora in the background.
Yeah. In this part of the country, etc., etc.
Some simple pallet cycling.
I'm surprised how much the next world is represented in this world for some reason.
Yeah. Sort of an iceberg ending.
Oh, yeah. I forget how much these, like, levels are themed. It's like how they kind of flow into each other.
Yeah. Something you don't notice so much, but...
This is a really dynamic power. It's like just all these...
Yeah.
You get like 3 different attacks.
Yeah, they saved it for the big super special power. Just fucking murk the guy.
I like how even in Dreamland, or Dream Course, it was a similarly, like, really useful power.
Yeah. Like, UFO, like, it doesn't show up too many more often, but it's always positioned as, like, a superpower.
It's kind of funny if a concept is like you become a spaceship.
I guess you're kind of writing it there, sort of. Well,
oh yeah,
it's ambiguous.
It's Kirby.
Yeah.
It's not really a spaceship, it's specifically an alien spaceship. What's the first Kirby game with co-op?
I believe it's Superstar.
Jeez. Oh.
And then here's the famous Meta Knight fight. Yeah, it's kind of weird in this one where, like, yeah, see, like, there's this hit effect.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
And he can block your attacks, too. If he feels like it. Yeah, so Meta Knight's just... And then, of course...
It's Kirby.
Ooh.
He's the Shadow the Hedgehog of this series.
Don't insult him. But yeah, like, even in the day, like, you wouldn't actually know his name, even, unless you got, like, the, uh-oh. Unless you got, like, the strategy guide, because it doesn't appear on the light bars or anything.
Oh.
And he wasn't mentioned in the manual.
That's a really cool ability for NES days.
Oh, yeah.
I do appreciate all the enemies having, like, different palettes, too. Especially in areas like this, where it's, like, darker.
Yeah. It wasn't too uncommon, because you would just have the object palette change in different locations.
I suppose that's fair. Use this slide. There we go.
There we go. Let me get the power that doesn't lag the game to shit. It only lags it a little bit.
I think the only reason I can remember the difference between laser and beam is because beam is like a recurring power.
To be fair, beam isn't very lasery.
Yeah. What did we destroy those blocks for?
I don't know.
We forgot to put a power up here. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, this can be sometimes kind of obnoxious to do air shit. Oh.
Uh-oh.
You need a special power. Oh yeah, Fireball counts as is one of the things that can destroy hard blocks in this game.
Huh. Oh, I remember that now.
I'm pretty sure like every single stage has a button in this world.
Oh. Okay, this room doesn't have a great palette. Change that gray to a dark blue and you'll be fine.
The same gray they're using for the doors, though.
Yeah, but just make
Yeah,
it black then. Yeah. Wah, wah. Uh-oh.
Oh. So this is something that they kept around for quite a while is the sub-boss rush.
Oh, yeah.
And like we didn't see it in this one, but you can like go up higher to like have something that's a little shorter but like slightly more difficult. I think you skip ahead or something. You float up and there's like you can enter the building up there, and that also like appears a lot too.
Huh. I just
yeah.
There's another game where they have this mini boss rush in a tower. But,
yeah. Yeah, 64 does it.
I want to see if the third one is the guitar. Or the,
I think in this one it just...
Oh, it is!
Yeah.
The,
sort of.
Not the guitar, but the...
Microphone, yeah. That's right, it is. Kind of weird that the mini boss rush is on 6-7-2 instead of like later on, but
because this is like the final like level in Dreamland 3. Yeah, he kind of like can hit you during his KO'd animation because he just rolls around. It's always weird fighting in like bosses with these abilities.
Yeah.
Because you can do some neat stuff with it, but you'd have to wait for them to throw out a projectile.
Oops. Just like, oops.
I wanted a backdrop, but I was a little
I forgot I actually technically had a power. Yeah, here's the Fireball Lion.
Looks a little sillier in this game compared to the remake.
Yeah, he looks a lot more... They give him better palette. looks a little more like he's made of fire than just a lion.
This is a nice backdrop, jeez.
Yeah. You get sort of the semi-surreal shit near the end of the game.
Sleeve leg. Why did we do that?
We wanted to be one with the enemies in this level. We're tired. It's been a long day.
Ow.
Oh yeah, I think this is kind of a little jankier than it looks. All these diagonal passageways.
Because in most games, including the remake of this, he just kind of stands and blocks normally.
Yeah.
On diagonal lines. Meta Knight's still helping us, I guess. Got his mask back.
Yeah.
Did they ever really elaborate on what Meta Knight's deal is, or is he just kind of Mr. Mysterious?
They never truly elaborate on it. They drop like a hint or two, but like they mostly leave it up to your imagination, and it's kind of a good thing.
Yeah,
they get a good spot for him. It's a weird concept for the series, but it works very well.
Why? Hit him, please. Thank you. Oh, I actually lost the ability, so you could actually go and get it back. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, these all give ball. Like, you have to, like, bounce around to, like, get it going, but, like, you can actually, like, destroy enemies with it. I think it does a fuck ton to bosses, like hammer levels of fuck ton damage.
It's weird we haven't really seen it. We saw it once, I think, and we didn't really use it.
Yeah, and it's mostly because the long player is avoiding it, because in normal play, it's really, really awkward to use.
Yeah.
But it actually does have that potential in it. Also, these are the kind of fillery areas. I think the speedrun once described these as bad Mario Maker levels. Where you just have a room full of a bunch of single enemy.
Damn, I'm trying to remember the name of the fire enemy from Superstar. It's like Flamin'...
Burnin' Leo.
Burnin' Leo, that's it. Flamin' Leo, that's maybe a little unfortunate. Burnin' Leo's a little better, yeah. Double explosion.
Double sun power.
It's an interesting interpretation of Crash.
Yeah, he just sort of, like, murders everything. Okay, this room is, like, see those are gusts of wind going down and up. It's not entirely clear in this version, but yeah. Because there's invisible wind particles.
I guess having actual visible wind would be a kind of a strain on the system.
Yeah. I mean, they had it in that one place, but that was just one direction.
Yeah.
And they could get away with a few projectiles because it was the same the entire part, you know?
Right, yeah. Bye. We're not gonna mess with that.
Yeah, you just shoot it from farther away or use the flame. And I think it's just 1-ups, though. Yep, because the door turned white, so...
Ah.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah! Already we got a throwback.
Yeah, it's really weird that there's a throwback this fucking early on. Which we haven't actually used this theme.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of funny how later on this not only becomes the, like, you know, the 1-1 theme, but like also like kind of comes Kirby's motif as a character. Like in like boss fights, you'll hear parts of this, and it's kind of like this is Kirby struggling against the boss or whatever, musically. So yeah, this is sort of a Castle Lololo area. They reuse those like water fountain tiles from the earlier in this game.
This is really neat, and it's... It feels like ahead of its time in a weird way.
Yeah. It's just sort of like, look how big this game is. It can fit the entire other game in it. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how on the box art for the American box art for the first game, Kirby's just white.
Oh yeah!
But they actually hadn't nailed down this color yet.
Remember that. He was sick before. Oh yeah, that's the last level, I think?
Yeah, it's the last level now. I actually underestimated that there isn't barely any buttons at all on this stage. Whoops. Oh, they missed the button, though. The door didn't change colors.
Oh, huh. Oh, well.
Yeah, it's that upper right area. I think it's where you float above the exit and there's that moon and you can enter the moon.
Oh, yeah.
That becomes kind of a recurring thing.
Yeah, I was wondering if there's anything up there. So yeah, he's pretty much the same here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Except he learned how to inflate.
He stole Kirby's flying. He's got got like a half Kirby thing going on himself now.
Yeah.
With the inhale and the flying. And the Karnov.
Was it like the Melee trophy that described it as you just kind of decided to imitate Kirby's move because it was good? You trained in order to do it? This guy has a lot of health.
Yeah, he does. I'm just trying to remember what the Melee trophy looked like. What? No.
Knock it off.
I never saw that before, that's great. It's a very cool looking sprite.
Yeah. So if you don't do enough damage in that fight, you eventually just, like, crash into the surface of the planet and die. Look at his little witch hat.
Oh wow, yeah. I got magical powers.
Like, you can see it creeping closer.
Oh wow, yeah. This kind of also starts a trend of, like, final boss fights where you have, like, a completely different control scheme.
Yeah, you have a superpower. Well, although it's not different on this phase. I mean, it's more of an ability than a... You can't just fly.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it's actually pretty impressive that they have a big boss sprite like this, and the background that's scrolling,
Yeah.
because this has to be part of the background, because it's too big for a regular sprite.
Jeez.
Like in Mega Man, when you fight the dragon, it becomes just black.
God, yeah, that's an impressive looking sprite.
Of course, this is the beginning of the teleporting boss.
Oh, yeah. Sakurai knows how to do a good final boss. Or Howl or whatever.
Yeah, because they have a lot of different great shit. It's very... You have to find the openings rather than just throw shit at them.
Yeah.
Kaboom.
That sounded like an error.
Yeah, we were fighting on the moon.
Oh yeah, just blew a big hole in it. It's a lot more like Sonic Adventure 2 than I realized.
Not pain.
Oh no.
So this is the beginning of, like, DDD not being the villain, because he never is the actual villain of the game ever again after the first game.
I was about to say, yeah. He's like a... just...
other...
big douche.
Yeah, he's a recurring boss all the time, and he's a big douche, but, like...
He's just like a big doofus.
Yeah. Of course, it makes the fact that he has that motivation makes the fact that Meta Knight is working for him and then battling you and helping you even more of a confusing clusterfuck.
Bye.
Yeah, I kind of like this where they kind of show off fighting the boss with powers you cannot get at that point in the game.
Hey, look, they're doing something.
Yeah, like the moon summons laws in the background, summons those stars, while the sun will, like, lay lasers on you. Dude.
It's an unusual credit sequence, but I like it. I'll say if you fought Meta Knight with something besides a sword, that'd be weird.
I don't know if in this game you can wait out the sword or not. I know in later games you can.
Is that a high jump?
Yep! Thanks to Halkin Debuggers, Nintendo Debuggers, and Dan Olsen.
Thanks, Dan. Oh, we got the bye-bye ability.
Bye-bye!
Bye.
And of course, this game also has an extra mode. Unlike the first game, it doesn't really do much other than just give you 3 max health instead of 6.
Oh.
And then there's also the boss rush mode, which you eventually unlock, which... that one just throws you into the bosses one after another, and I don't think you start with a power. So...
isn't in the remake, like, the extra mode changes the enemy sprites, or am I thinking of something else?
You're thinking of something else. The remake did have Meta Nightmares, Nightmare Revenge, or whatever, where you played as Meta Knight.
That's right.
With, like, all of Meta Knight's powers, and you had a timer instead of a score counter. I think, I don't remember if that actually replaced extra mode or was a separate thing, because you did have the 3 hearts.